Stampers, it's Eleanor McGarry, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada, and in this video we're going to be using a stamp set called Watercolor Shapes to make card backgrounds. The Watercolor Shapes set has geometrical shapes that allow you to make soft or striking backgrounds depending on the ink that you use. There's circles, squares, rectangles, and they all have a masked off edge. The inks that we're going to use today are, I've chosen 3 colors, Coastal Cabana and Daffodil Delight, as well as Granny Apple Green. Let's get the ink pads ready to use. I like to have them all open in front of me so I can decide which ones to use for which image. I'm only going to be using one image, and that's the large circle image from the Watercolor Shape set. Stamping it first in Coastal Cabana. I'm going to stamp it a second time. I'm not really thinking of any particular pre-planned pattern. I'm just randomly stamping it on my white layer and playing around with spacing. Clean it off so that we can get another color going here. And I think we're going to go with Daffodil Delight next. Adding more circles. I overlapped on purpose because I wanted to see what it would look like mixed in with the Coastal Cabana. And it creates kind of a different, unique looking green, so I like that. Now let's clean it again and start using the Granny Apple Green. I just inked up my Granny Apple Green, so it's kind of smudgy, but we'll use it anyway. Maybe it'll create a nice effect. That's what it looks like. Kind of different. I like that. Another one there. And I just keep going until I'm happy with how my piece looks like. When you're stamping like this and creating a background, there's no right or wrong. You're being creative here and experimenting, and as long as you're happy with the final product, that's really the goal when you're paper crafting and stamping. I was going to leave that center just clear white, then I decided, nah, I'm going to use up another ink color and cover it up, and I decided to just go with Daffodil Delight again. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, I've done enough. I'm going to use this now to create a card, and this will be my background piece. There's a bit of a mistake there, a little bit of smudge, but that's all right. I'm going to use it still. Now that I've done my stamp layer, it's time to choose a greeting, and I like this thank you greeting from the Plentiful Plants stamp set. I like this greeting a lot and use it quite often in my thank you cards. I'm going to use Coastal Cabana as the ink for my greeting. I like the way it coordinates with those circles that I've used. I kind of like that very soft look to it. And then I decided I'm going to add some twine to my stamp layer. Just wrap it around 3 times. I think I wrapped it around 3 times. You can wrap it more or less, same amount of times, and then I just go ahead and anchor it to the back of my card with just some Scotch tape, just so that it doesn't move. As I'm going to tie the bow in the front, I don't want it to move and go anywhere. Just fix the twine so it looks the way I want it to look at the front. And then I go ahead and tie a simple bow at the very top there. Just deciding how long I want my bunny ears to be, and then I cut off the edges so the tails are not so long. At this point, then you can move your twine to where you want it to be, take off the tape and just move it closer to the edge, and then fix what it looks like in the front till you're happy with it. Off camera, I stamped 3 of the smaller circles using the same colors as my base layer, and I cut them out. So we have the Daffodil Delight, the Coastal Cabana, and the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to use this to decorate the front, and we're going to use dimensionals so that when we glue them onto the card, they're popped up And it adds an interesting look if some of your elements are popped up. You're just adding them in random spots where I think they should go. And I like the way that looks. And now it's time to just go ahead and glue your card to your base. And I like to use my liquid glue to do this. Just go ahead and apply the glue. And the base that I've chosen is Coastal Cabana. Ooh, I like the way that looks in the end with the 3 colors on the Coastal Cabana base. It's very bright and sunny. And the final step is just adding some basic rhinestone gems to the center of each of those circles. And I like that. That's your finished card. Now I'll show you some other cards that I created using the Watercolor Shapes stamp set. Here's one that I made using the circle images again, and I used Balmy Blue, Mango Melody, and Granny Apple Green, as well as the splatter stamp from the Forever stamp set. I used Mango Melody for the splatter, and the greeting I stamped in Memento Black from the Biggest Wish stamp set. This is the same idea, also from the Biggest Wish stamp set, that greeting. I used the In Colors, Polished Pink, Fresh Freesia, and Pale Papaya. And then I added some gems. These are the In Color gems, and I chose Pale Papaya to add some detail and interest to the card. And here again, I used the same stamp set, but this time I used a different shape. I used the rectangles, and the colors that I use are Crumb Cake, Old Olive, and Night of Navy. And I splattered some water on the images. You can see they've dried a bit paler there. So you stamp first and then splatter a bit of water to create that look. My last card is using the circle images, and I use Gorgeous Grape, Mint Macaron, and Petal Pink for this card. So really the sky's the limit, creating backgrounds using the watercolor stamp set. You can Google lots of color combinations, or use the color wheel to decide what colors to use. You can make really fast cards using this set and create lovely backgrounds. I'm going to try and move the cards here around here so you can see all of them. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. The subscribe button is on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. I hope you enjoyed this. Happy crafting, everyone.